Really good point, first of all, and that you're totally on the money. It's that it happens right under our noses and everywhere, and just the least suspecting and the most smiley people.
I'm coming for you.
Hey, how's it going? I guess I'm
Yeah,
good.
great to see you again. How's it going?
It is great to see you again too, brother. Again, Niger, the Culture Collective. Gabriel, I just want to, we obviously here to talk about the film The Protector was going to be in theaters March 6th. First question I just wanted to ask you was just what was the set culture for filming a film? And I spoke to the director earlier today, and obviously, you see a film with Milla, I think it's super easy to assume, and even by, the artwork, the trailers, it's super easy to assume you're walking into a action blockbuster, right? But
Yes.
what was navigated very specially in this film was the two conversations about human trafficking and then obviously soldiers returning home and what's that sort of normacy in terms of what life is and amongst other things. But I didn't get to asking, and obviously asking you, I think it's a good place to start. It's just what was the culture like in terms of being able to handle such two difficult topics, but also a story with good action, and something that everybody should check out.
Yes. I don't know exactly what you mean by culture. Do you mean like how did we approach the material and what did we all, what was the tone of talking about that stuff on set?
Yeah, yeah, and obviously after obviously executing the jobs and filming scenes, just really having people, creating the safe spaces for everybody, or anything that people may have further questions about. And I say that because like
Yeah.
I consume a lot of film, but I think it's
Yeah.
super important to realize like these things are happening next door to us every single day, and it's things that sometimes we overlook. And I know the first thing I thought about when I was watching this was like, I wonder how many people are very much aware that like you never know what could be, at your local Buffalo Wild Wings, something could be executing right in your face and you're not even aware of it. And obviously you all are telling the story and doing the job, and these young ladies are playing these parts. But I'm just curious
Yes.
about what does that sort of conversation, that safe space, the culture on the set, when you're telling a story like this.
Yeah, really good point. First of all, and that you're totally on the money. It's that it happens right under our noses and everywhere, and just the least suspecting and the most smiley people could be the ones perpetrating the thing. You never know. So I can only speak for my participation and how it was for me on set, but the subject matter is icky, and I was like, ew, who wants to? At the same time, I appreciated why it's part of the story. I appreciated how it was going to like excite the audiences and be revolting and riveting at the same time, but definitely needed to be handled, and always needs to be handled with care. So for me, that looked like checking in with Isabel, who's a great actress, and constantly, making jokes. We got to a place where she at least she told me she had a great time. We were like making fun in between takes and trying to put each other at ease. And I think, I hope I can say this in an interview. We were both kind of like, the subject matter is, so I think it's important to come at it, try to find a sense of humor, try to know that like it speaks for itself, so you don't have to like put a hat on a hat and double down on something that's already pretty disgusting. But we knew it would, and hopefully, we thought it would make for a good movie that makes the audience go, because we certainly did.
Yeah, I agree with your sentiments, and again, speaking to the director earlier, I was like, this is not a film that it's necessarily warranted for a sequel, but considering that Miller's ambitions is relentless at this rate, I mean, sign me up for it till she get them all. I will be up for that. One thing about
And
you,
that,
your
yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead. No,
No, no, no.
I was
You
just going to
first.
say very quickly that is what you just said is so good, because that's the payoff. We play on all that to make you feel, once you feel that, you want those people to get their comeuppance, both in life and on screen. In life, sometimes, as we've seen recently, they don't ever get their comeuppance, but at least on screen, we can deliver that for people.
100%.
But go on. I'm sorry to
No,
interrupt you.
no. 100%. That is the note. I was just gonna say the chairman isn't just a physical threat. And by the way, I mean, you know how to rock a damn suit, my guy. I know it's not the best compliment considering the situation, but I mean, you're menacing in that and in your first appearance on screen. But what's really interesting is that the chairman isn't just presented as just a threat, but he represents like a whole system. I really, in a strange way, hate to even ask this, but like, how do you approach a role like that to ensure that this character isn't just one dimensional, but people understand that, you know, it's not a one-off. This isn't a 101. This isn't a trade or transition. This is a whole enterprise being operated by this, and this is what it looks like. So how do you sort of approach that and give that character depth in that light?
I think it's exactly what you said. He's a cog in the wheel. It somehow makes him even more menacing. He's not out there freelancing, trying to be some evil guy. He's interested in the bottom line, in the revenue, in protecting his product. And this is his livestock. These are less than people. It's the most dehumanizing way to treat them. Cold, calculating, organized. That kind of thing makes people go, holy, this is... He doesn't even have a grudge against them. This is business as usual. And when you look at some of these organizations, these mafias and these people who run, they're doing just that. They're running syndicates, they're running cartels, they're running... In order to do that, you have to have a certain business mindset that I think is more, in my opinion, more terrifying than like some Jeffrey Dahmer type. This is like, oh no, this is business.
Yeah, yeah. Gabriel, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I'm sure we're going to be able to catch up again very soon. But in the meantime, folks, The Protector in theaters March 6th. Congratulations and thank you for the time today.
Thank you. It's so great to see you again. Thank you.
Anytime, brother. I appreciate it.